Who's on your hit list next?
Everybody.
Devin Haney. His father in my DMs keeps screenshotting stuff that we saying. I don't know what he's screenshotting it for, but Devin Haney definitely on my hit list, and we making that happen 2026.
So, Keyshawn Davis, the businessman, turned in an offer to fight Devin Haney for the WBO title. Now, I think he was set to make around $2 million for that offer. And this was because Top Rank won the purse bid for the WBO title, which it would have been for, I believe it would have been at £147. And they won it for about 8.5. And they were up against Teofimo Lopez's new promotion, who put on a much lower offer than that, around 3 million, I believe. And strangely enough, Davis obviously would have been guaranteed that 2 million, got a direct offer, I believe, from Top Rank for around 3 million to take the offer. However, the businessman was seeking 5 million and ultimately withdrew from the fight, and rejecting also a 25% mandatory challenger per split. So very disappointing. One of the things I must note straight away just from this happening is, if this was the other way around and it was Devin Haney that had turned down that bid, the amount of shit he would be getting would be off the charts. And maybe because Keyshawn Davis isn't as well known as Devin Haney, I feel like he's getting off light for this. Don't know you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. And I guess I understand he's trying to make as much money as possible, and rightly so. But at the end of the day, Haney is still a much bigger star in my opinion, and I'm sure among most boxing fans. As much as many people don't like his style and how he approaches it, maybe his personality as well, he's still generally a bigger star in the sport, former undisputed champion, 3 weight division champion, in fact. And he was always going to be the A side going into this. And I don't know if Keyshawn has been hanging out with Shakur Stevenson, seeing the massive paydays he's getting. He's wanting to get more money himself, potentially. And yeah, it's disappointing because that would have been a good fight. I think that would have been an interesting fight because Keyshawn Davis is a fighter I really rate. I think he's got all the potential to reach the top of the sport. But I don't like this kind of little brother attitude towards Shakur Stevenson. I think he almost kind of puts him on a pedestal and on some of these things. He clearly has been getting advice from certain individuals, in my opinion anyway. And just looking at his Instagram here, I just love how he's just put the caption, "the businessman," in a lot of his posts now. I think that's a bit of an older one. Yeah, sorry, these are the more original ones. The businessman. Look what they did. The businessman stuff. And you know what? I get that he's trying to make him bigger maybe than he actually is. Maybe he believes that really in his own head, but this would have been his biggest fight. This would have been the perfect opportunity to get the bigger fights and bigger paydays and opportunities in the future if he was to take that fight in the first place. But yeah, it's just disappointing in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think about it. I think there was such a great opportunity for a good fight there. Now that's Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis turned down that fight. And the other issue around Keyshawn Davis, he's clearly struggling to make that 140-pound limit. Moving up to 147 was the right move. In a big fight, maybe he's needing to acclimatize to that weight first. Maybe he wants to see how he feels first, get another fight in before taking the Devin Haney fight. Or is there the potential of another big fight lined up? Now, we look at the other 140-pound champions. I discussed this also in my video with Shakur Stevenson in terms of who he could fight next as well. There's not that many options for Keyshawn Davis in terms of getting a belt. And, looking at Keyshawn Davis, I think he's in a good place. I think that Jermaine Ortiz win was fantastic, really good performance. And also getting the knockout in the end as well. Beautiful body shots from that fight. And then the Nahir Albright rematch. Good result again. Nahir's a very awkward fighter. And then obviously in the Nahir Albright fight, he missed the weight for that. I believe he literally just missed it, but he's still obviously struggling to make the weight. Hence why he's talked about going up to 147 and challenging guys like Devin Haney. And it's clear that he's struggling to make that weight and he potentially just needs to move up to 147. That's the perfect payday opportunity to, especially if he trusted in himself to win that fight against Devin Haney. I think that's another really important factor, is if he truly believed in himself that he could beat Devin Haney, I think he would have taken the fight no problem. You know, you're getting a 3 million payday. Sure, Devin Haney would be getting somewhere closer between maybe 8, 9 million. Is it because he sees himself at a higher level than Haney? I think it's once again this horrible ego thing within the sport, especially among a lot of American fighters, not all of them, but you know, this constant back and forth. I don't know about you guys, it's, you know, ever since the Mayweather days, you know, picking and choosing and making a struggle in the negotiations. And this is what puts fans off when fighters do stuff like this. But Keyshawn Davis will just claim he's being the businessman, which makes it really frustrating because it is actually a really bad business move, in my opinion. However, I might be wrong with that. You know, maybe Keyshawn has something lined up, which will, you know, we have to wait and see, I guess. You know, looking at the super lightweight division, if he decides to stay there, you know, you've obviously got Shakur Stevenson, who he's like best friends with. He's never going to fight him. Then you've got Dalton Smith. He's already lined up with a fight with Puello, so that's not going to happen. You know, upcoming Adam Azim, very talented fighter, but even that fight might be a little bit too early for him. Gary Antoine Russell, he seems like he's in limbo mode right now. And then the other guys below that, you know, nothing excites me. He's not going to be getting 5 million against any of those other guys, in my opinion. Maybe an Pitbull Isaac Cruz could be an option. But apart from that, there's very, very limited options at 140 pounds. Now, if we look at the welterweight division where the money is, it's the same issue with Shakur Stevenson as well, with these big fights. Obviously, Devin Haney, he's looking for an opponent. It's the perfect opportunity to get that big payday against him if you believe in your abilities to win the fight. And, you know, there's obviously Conor Benn lined up with Ryan Garcia, potentially the winner of that. Brian Norman Jr. is now a relatively big name. You know, you've got Teofimo Lopez too. You know, I think that could be a good fight. Obviously, they have their history. I'm sure you've seen that clip of them going back and forth.
What made you mention my name in that interview? Just a question.
Yeah, you said Crawford will beat me.
It's just an opinion.
I don't like it. I'm not saying Pedraza's gonna beat you.
Nah, I ain't say that. Because you know that's not going to happen.
Maybe it can.
Everybody can when you step in that ring.
You know, a lot of times they mix my words up.
I seen the video.
You did?
I seen it.
I didn't mean to disrespect you, brother. Good business.
Liam Paro, another big name in Australia, that could be a good option. Well, Jack Catterall is another very tricky fighter. None of these are easy fights for Keyshawn Davis. But in terms of big paydays, you know, probably only Devin Haney, Conor Benn, Ryan Garcia, potentially Liam Paro down in Australia, and Teofimo Lopez are the big fights to make, and the fights where he'll actually make that type of money he's looking for. So, yeah, I don't know what you guys think. I think it's a poor business move from the businessman. But yeah, I guess we'll wait and see what he does next. But I think he'll get a lot of shit if he takes a little tune-up fight, considering he had that opportunity to win a world title versus Haney. But yeah, it's one of those, it's a kind of wait and see. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think this was a good move by Keyshawn Davis? Has he ducked Devin Haney? Is he just wanting to acclimatize to the weight before taking that fight at 147? I'd love to know. This has been Jamie from Boxing Life as always, and I'll see you in the next one.